Cancer, Sun, Moon, or Rising, May 2023. Cancers, the month starts with an eclipse in your 5th house in Scorpio. And this eclipse is around the 5th, 6th. It might not, most of you, might not feel it, but there might be the occasional Cancer or so that, because it's not close to your sign. People that would feel the eclipse that will totally change their life, usually they need to have something in Scorpio. But still, it's your 5th house. So here's possible ways it can play out for some of you. It can be something important and fated happening in your love life, because 5th house rules falling in love, or the people that you love in your life, or your children, some big change, some important change in the life of your child. Because it's with the South Node and it's full moon, about endings, and it's Scorpio, about, of course, releasing something. For some of you, it can mean releasing some toxic love affair, or releasing some feelings about someone that get shifted, that you've been like, oh, why am I so obsessed about them? Why am I so focused on intense on them? And because the eclipse, Uranus is part of the eclipse here. So Uranus can help you cut the cords with someone that you've been obsessed with. So it can be some kind of, in extreme cases, it can be like ending of a love relationship. So shifting of a dynamics in a relationship with a lover while dating with someone, where the South Node requires some kind of a sacrifice, some kind of, making some compromise as well, possibly. Or on another way, it can mean changing of the dynamics in your romantic life. It can mean focus that romantic life is the 5th house. So even if you're married, it can indicate that maybe there is some shifting dynamics there. Or if you have children, it can mean that maybe your child is ending one chapter of their life, or maybe leaving home and you have to let go of them, or there is some kind of a change or some crisis happening in the life of a child that you need to help them with, for example. Or the 5th house can be some kind of a crisis in your love life that you have to resolve in some way, that you have to change something there so things move better. And the 5th house can be also creativity, your creative projects. If you've been working on something, some creative project, I don't know, is it a book or is it a business, a website, whatever it is, with your 5th house there being activated, full moon can mean seeing the results of it. And because it's an eclipse, it's very important, like seeing the results of some important creative project you've been working on, and maybe completing it, South Node, to end something, to complete. And it might be a great thing that you're completing. It doesn't have to be negative, or it can be like, seeing that 5th house is also how we have fun. Do you go out and drink, or do you go out and, what ways do you use? Well, South Node can mean eclipse, you've outgrown those ways of having fun. It's time to let go of certain ways of enjoying and entertainment yourself that you're too old for, or that have outdated, or that are too toxic for you, the Scorpio energy. So either whether it's romantic life, you let go of a romantic toxic energy or obsession, or whether it's some kind of a hobby or enjoyment, that having fun that is maybe not too healthy for your good, that you can let go of. Or maybe it's seeing the results of some creative project that's coming to an end. And because this is an eclipse after all, there is a part of it, it can be crisis driven, crisis either with a child or with a lover or in some creative project, but you don't have to freak out. I've had a few times activations in the 5th house with eclipses. Well, one time I broke up with someone for a few years, then we got back together a few years later. And another time, sometimes it can be a pregnancy. Yes. Funny enough, there was an eclipse in the 5th house from my sun, and I found out that year that I was pregnant. So it might not happen immediately on the exact day of the eclipse. It happened to me within 2-3 months, but eclipses activate the whole year. So something important will be happening possibly with this 5th house for you. And possibly because it's with the South Node, it's about releasing you in some way, making space for something new, letting go first of something that is not necessary anymore to make space for something new. And it can feel more liberating with the South Node, that some connections, some obsessions are removed there. Then the other big event for you is that on the 7th, Venus is entering your sign, Cancers, and you'll be there till the end of the month. The moment Venus enters your sign, you feel protected, you feel kinder, more money can come to you, more pleasures, more enjoyments. Venus also rules friendships and social, the 11th house, and social activities for you. You can receive more love from your family because Venus rules your fourth house as well. It can be time to do something beautiful also around your house, but also to make yourself more beautiful, to become more agreeable. For some of you, as I said, it can even be love. When Venus enters your sign, love can come. And interesting, this eclipse here in the 5th house can activate romantic past life connections, even with someone from the past. That can enter for some of you. Not all Cancers will meet romantic past life relationship, but for some of you, because Venus also activates you, making things more possible. Or it can be just great time to beautify yourself, to enjoy Venusian things, to be more agreeable, more kinder, or you just feel more in a better mood, more like psychologically and emotionally satisfied, even if it's just that. It doesn't have to be some external event. Sometimes when I have Venus transit, I just feel more loving towards others. I don't get so easily angry. But that protects you the whole month from pretty much getting yourself in trouble. But of course, Mars is still in your sign till the 20th. So the later born Cancers, that those in the last 10 degrees, definitely the last 10 degrees of Cancers, the first 20 days of May will feel a bit more activated, a bit more triggered into action and initiative, but also more triggered by circumstances and more reactive and more stressed in a way. But Venus follows after that to soothe you. For the later born Cancers, it might come towards the end of the month and so on. But Venus will make sure that you're, that you don't, that you're much more calm and gentler and graceful. Then the other big event is that Mercury is turning direct on the 14th of May. It's been retrograde in your 11th house. So if there were some delays with business or complications, or with some business or financial projects, or with social or economic projects that then required extra effort, so with some social project, or that required extra effort. So if you're working on some dream or goal or some big plan of yours, some project that required editing, fixing, adapting, changing plans, it all turns back to normal after the 14th. Maybe you'll see the results of your extra efforts that you did during this retrograde period, and you'll see that you've achieved that goal in a better way, that it's better now after the retrograde period than it was initially. And as well, maybe while Mercury is retrograde till the middle of the month, you might meet more people from the past, get in touch with friends you haven't seen for a while. And in existing relationships, there can be some certain complications or important things that you're talking and reminiscing about from the past, or that you're bringing up to be solved, hopefully. And if there is sometimes, in extreme cases, you might even remove certain people from a social environment when Mercury is retrograde, especially if there is not much leeway for improvement or for balance there, for improving the relationship. And you might decide, like, I'm gonna delete those people from my social media, or I'm gonna quit those. 11th house rules also any apps and groups online or personally that you participate. You revise them, you trim them, you clean them, you're like, okay, you put order in them. Or for others, might be, I want to reconnect with some people I haven't reconnected for a while. I haven't seen my classmates, or I haven't seen, let me get back to this group on Facebook or whatever and start communicating. And then Mercury turns direct, and business as usual. But the other big event is that Jupiter is entering your 11th house, Cancers. Jupiter was in your 11th house last time in 12 years. Yes, so it's only once in 12 years. It was 2012, I think that it was, 12 or 2011, partly 2012. So it's coming there, and this is the favorite house of Jupiter according to astrology. Wherever Jupiter goes, it expands and brings more blessings. But traditional Western astrology says that Jupiter gives great results when in the 11th house. Look how many planets are there as well. Why is that? Because the 11th house is the house of rewards, and Jupiter is the planet that likes to bless us and reward us. So when Jupiter enters there, this can be a time of reaping the rewards from your previous actions. Who will be rewarded? Of course, there needs to be some merit as well. Have you been working hard on your career? Well, Jupiter was in your 10th house. So did you take new opportunities in career or worldly achievements or whatever? When Jupiter enters the 11th house might be when you get recognized for those achievements, or where the money comes in for those efforts, or when you get promoted. The 11th house, definitely I've seen people get promoted with Jupiter there. Or if you've been working hard towards some other worldly goal, like a PhD or whatever, or degree, Jupiter enters your 11th house. These are honors, titles. You can receive a degree or an honor title over the next 12 months. 11th house is also public recognition, public love. If you have a brand or a business, you can expand your clientele. You can bring out new products out to the public that are embraced and that bring more gains for you. If you're on YouTube, you can have more following. If you're, whatever you are, your business can expand, your network, the followers, the clients, the gains that you get from them, the love you receive from others. Or it can just mean a new friend entering your life, a friend that is loving. And actually, I met a few amazing friends when Jupiter was transiting my 11th house. 11th house from the from my sun sign. And I still haven't met them in real life, but we became so close. And even though it's been virtual, I feel like I've known those people. There was a soul connection. So there is like friends that enter your life now. They can be a powerful soul connection there. And both times when Jupiter transited the 11th sign from my ascendant, I made some new business partnerships, and because it's networking sign as well, it's not always about personal friendships. It's about someone who can be useful, beneficial for you, that can help you reach your goals and dreams. And I had one of my most successful business collaborations around that time that tripled my income for a little bit. So the gains, the recognition, and a friend entered my life that a group of 30 new people that I met because I did my first retreat. So that's 11th house is also, you can bring you an opportunity to meet larger groups of people by participating in like-minded events. So you can go to an astrology conference, you can go to cooking classes, something that you do publicly with others, or you can go to meetings of whatever meetings it is, so cooking club or a knitting club or book club, or just you can meet more people through your friends or through others or online like I did. Every time Jupiter was in the 11th house from my ascendant or from sun, I felt like my tribe kind of expanded, and I found people that stayed in my life and been source of love and growth or opportunity, but especially emotional connection. But for you, it might be actually more money related as well, or that these people are a source of financial growth for you as well, because Taurus is involved. But definitely your friendships, your social circle will expand. You can find the right friends. There is a study that followed for 70 years people, Harvard study, and they said that what is the secret to happiness? Having the right people around you, the right relationships, whether marriage or friends. This house in particular is friends. But if you have the right circle or a few friends or people you feel you belong to, this expands your life. Not only expands it, but makes you feel happier than anything else. So that's why it's one of such a blessed house to Jupiter in the 11th house. And you might only be able to recognize that you met very important people in your life while Jupiter was transiting in your 11th house a few years down the line, while they're still in your life, and when you benefit from them in some way, or when they get even closer. But now those seeds will be planted over the next 1 year. And it's time to dream big as well. This is the house of dreams and hopes and wishes. Jupiter can expand that. And one of my biggest dreams was always to have a live event, and 40, 50 people came when I made it, when Jupiter was in my 11th house. Well, it was gainful as well, but I made 40 friends for life, 40 because I knew already 10 of them, 40 new friends that I still feel close to and I would always love, and expanded and I achieved a dream of mine. So you can be achieving some dream or goal of yours, and dreaming big, organize something. If you're invited to any place where you can meet with people, larger groups of people, go, because something good can come to you from there. After the 16 onwards, for a whole year, don't expect immediate results. Go, because this is where your blessing can come from. If you are it can be also a great time to start a business, as I said, because 11th house is about having the right networks, connections, following, to expand the business, marketing strategies that work, and gains as well, or some new dream goal that you come closer to that makes it meaningful for you. In particular, Jupiter rules your 6th house as well. So if you want to improve your health now, because your Cancer, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter in the 11th house, if you want to improve your health, 6th house is health habits and routines, do like a group activity. Go to a group class, start working this for the next 12 months, exercise. This can help you transform your health. Or go to conferences about such things. So join groups online that talk about healthy eating or habits or anything to do with health and nutrition and such things. Or another way, 6th house rules your work. You might start working with colleagues on a big project of some sort. Your work can involve working on something more altruistic, or working more in technological side, because the 11th house rules technology, or incorporating technology and 11th house is like networking, internet, into your work process, or extending your work network as well. Jupiter also rules your 9th house. You can meet foreign friends or friends that you have mutual ideals together with. You can meet like-minded people that you believe in the same things with, 9th house, or people with similar spiritual beliefs, or people that are foreign as well. That's another way, or meeting people, traveling, and so on. All right, so there we go. I can speak so much about Jupiter in the 11th house for all the possibilities, but you have to see how it plays out for you guys and write to me in a year from now. Thank you so much. And Cancers, and I think that your relationships will improve, personal relationships too. Jupiter will trine your 7th house. Definitely it will become way more social time for you from the middle of May onwards for a year, and more gainful and rewarding times for you. Thank you so much. I think this month you're quite blessed, all in all.